for watching. I'm Prerna Agarwal, Technical Product Owner for the Guardian. Today we'll be giving you Guardian Sprint update of Sprint 101, which lasted from September 29 to October 10th. So just a quick overview of the agenda. We'll be talking about the Guardian roadmap. We'll be talking about the issues that we tackled in Sprint 101. We'll be also giving you a quick demo on Sprint 101. Then we'll be talking ahead of week of October 13th, which is Sprint 102. We'll be also talking about the issues that we'll be tackling in Sprint 102. We'll be talking about our upcoming releases, and at the end, we'll be giving you some of the ways that you can either submit bugs or policy requests through various different channels. So, talking about Guardian Roadmap, so we are working on the next phase of tools evolution in Guardian policies. We are trying to complete the complex iterative review and approval workflows. We are also working on the project account wallet. We are also working on some of the advancement of the schema deletion feature, which is a multiple schema deletion. And then we are also working on some of the policy warnings where you get more detailed warnings during the policy configuration. And at the end, we are working on some of the checks which you can do during the importing of the Excel schema into Guardian. So talking about the Sprint 101, so Sprint 101, we committed to 50 story points and we delivered 16 story points, which includes 5336 indexer bugs to be fixed and then 5042 Guardian form UI improvements. Let's talk about Sprint 101 demo. So the first ticket what we'll be talking about is Guardian form UI improvements, which is 5042 for projects and policies of real world complexity. Existing Guardian UI tooling is not sufficiently powerful to make UX easy. Basically, this feature was to support a table input field for multi-year data fields, which often some of the methodologies requires multi-year inputs. Like for one of the methodology which a community was working, they required like 40 years of data to be inputted into the Guardian UI, which manually would be a kind of a cumbersome pain. So we have to implement this ticket. So let me show you how we can implement this ticket. So as you can see that I am acting as a standard registry over here, and I have imported VM33 v2.2 version. I do have the CSV files of this particular methodology where we have the project emissions, we have the baseline emissions, CSV, we have the all the data being populated with the CSV files. So here, in order to implement the table UI demo, what I would be doing is I would be actually adding one field as 8.2 project emissions in the project description schema. So let me first look at the project description schema of VM33. As you can see that we have a project description auto, which where I would like to actually add a new field as table field. So I click on edit. And then here you see that all the schema fields are auto-populated here. But in addition to add a new field, I will click on add field before the conditions, and then I would act as 8.2 project emissions. And then I would select the field type as table. Then I would click on save just to save the schema. So once the schemas are saved, I would like to run this policies in the dry run mode. So I would stop it and then rerun the dry run mode just to reflect that schema change. I would make this as dry run. So once the policy is in dry run, let's run the policy in the dry run mode and execute it. So in order to see how the table CSV works, I need to actually first create a new user for this particular policy. And then I go there because for this policy, I would need a project proponent to upload the data. So here I would select project proponent. And then I would click on new project. Now, as I created a new schema, a new field, which is 8.2 project emissions, I would click on import CSV data. And then I would actually select the respective CSV file, which is 8.2 project emissions.csv. Now, as you can see that, the table data has been populated with all the data which was present in the CSV. So you see all the fields have been populated over here. You can expand and it is more similar to our Excel file. You can also edit it. You can also save it. And then you can also view that again in this particular format. And then in addition to that, you can also clear the imported data. You can re-upload it, or you can also open the table and then add or edit by yourself. So this is a quick demo. We do have a detailed documentation on this particular feature. If you go to our docs.hedera.com under standard registry, under schemas, under the available schema data types, we have added a new section called table data input field, where you can actually use this field in the way what we have demoed. And also you can also use this data input field with the auto calculate feature, which we already have in Guardian. So the next ticket what we'll be looking at is 5336, which is indexer bugs to be fixed. Basically, we already have indexer, but as we are coming closer to COP, we realize that we need to make some changes or some minor fixes to indexer, which is 5336. So as you can see that we have listed out some of the rearranging of the fields in indexer, removing and then reducing the keyword search field, and also having the columns of all the other tables of all the things to be more sorted. So as you can see that we have moved the open, which was at the end, at the very first, so that this is much more actionable button where community or the people who are using indexer can view that data by clicking on open. Then we have also made some changes. Initially we were having dids which was not user friendly, and then which wasn't that meaningful, so we have removed the did column from the standard registry table. And then looking at the other, you can also see the did table. Again, we have moved the open option in every table. We have moved it at the top, at the front. And the other thing is now you should be able to see the latest data at the top, meaning that the latest which have been added in the indexer will be first. The latest date and time data would be visible in the first row. And then you can also increase the items per page and then see the data. In addition to that, what we have also done is in the topics, we have made sure that the useful data is being shown here, and then we have removed some of the fields which were not useful and which were not user friendly and understood. So those are the minor changes what we have done in the indexer. If you have any further questions, feel free to please reach out to us, and please let us know if you have any further feedback on how to improvise our indexer. So that was a demo on Sprint 101 talking about ahead of week, which is October 13 to 24, which is sprint 102. Currently, we are committing to 53 story points, which includes some of the enhancements in the tools, which is 5381, and then 4548, which is a complex iterative review and approval workflows, and then some checks, validations in our import Excel to check the schema name duplication, which is 4754. Talking about our upcoming releases, our last release was on Thursday, July 31st, 2025. Our next release will be on Friday, October 31st, 2025. So, talking about the submission, so there are multiple ways to reach out to us. You can reach out to us on GitHub. You can submit policy requests, enhancements, or if you have any bugs in our Guardian, please feel free to create an issue in GitHub so that we can get our team on it. Also, if you haven't joined our Discord, you can visit hedera.com/discord, and there we have actually updated our sustainability channel, and now you should be able to submit your request or any questions related to Guardian in developer support channel, tagging Guardian as a tag, or you can directly reach out to us by submitting a policy request through website, which is www.envisionblockchain.com, or through email, which is info@envisionblockchain.com. Thank you. Have a great day.